Hi, it's Jnwynn with Scraptastic Yarns Podcast. Today is Thursday, April the 4th. I missed the 3rd. Didn't get a VEDA filmed. However, yesterday was an extremely busy day. I spent the first part of the day at physical therapy. This is new physical therapy modality for my arm. When I did see the doctor, he told me I had graduated from having a fully trapped nerve which ran all the way up the arm to the shoulder into the neck to now tennis elbow, which I kind of laughed. I said, well, there goes my tennis career. He said, well, it could be a golfer career you've lost. So, we're having a good laugh, about it. He did explain some of the other things that he was going to do. I have had a shot in that nerve, in that arm, and it did not work. And this was with another physician. And he said, well, then you know how painful it is. I said, yes. I said, I'm pretty good about not screaming. But yeah, I did scream and I cried. And he said, yeah, it makes grown men cry. So he prefers not to do the injections unless you absolutely insist. So we're doing a different treatment modality. It's something that he has seen great success with when he was at Duke, working with basketball players, golfers, those kind of things. So that's what we're doing. It's a physical therapist I've used before. And she explained to me when we got to the massage part, I wouldn't like it, but later on it would feel better. And I have to say, while the massage was going on, I wanted to smack her because it is painful. I mean, there's no other way around it. But I know it is. And one of the other physical therapists that was there was laughing about something she had seen for night sweats for hot flashes. And it was that you curl your tongue up into a straw, breathe through the mouth, through that curled up tongue, and breathe out through your nose. She said she was doing that, and her husband was like, what the hell is going on? So we were laughing, about breathing. And I said, well, maybe, how was that? Curl my tongue? Just breathe while they're, working on that arm? So we were joking about that. And I told him one of the things I'd learned a long time ago on Oprah. There was a woman that had made this thing that you put an ice cube in and you stick it in between your breast, and that it stops the hot flashes. Well, I've done that many times, and that works. But we were laughing about don't mind the wet spot. It's just a hot flash. So, we were having a good laugh and giggle. There were no men in there at the time. So, but it did hurt. And it hurt for a while, till probably about 2:30 or 3. And I had this at 9 o'clock in the morning. The arm was in a lot of pain. And then about 3 o'clock, I noticed it doesn't hurt as much as it's been hurting. So, I'm going to give them a thumbs up for that, even though I don't like the treatment. Sometimes you have to go with whatever happens. But after that, after I got through with the physical therapy, I had Bible study, and then we had prayer shawl, and then I had knitting crochet over at the fire hall. And after that, the physical therapy had wanted me to look for a certain brace to wear for the arm. No place here in our town has it. I stopped at the medical supply company because they have the bigger shop in Williamsport. Nope, they don't carry it. Gotta order it. They want to charge me $40 for the same brace I get on Amazon for $20. So, I come home, order it on Amazon, By that time, I took my walk, forgot to take video, so didn't get a VEDA put up. Such is life. Now, I want to welcome my sister as a new subscriber. She posted on Facebook about, "You've been vlogging for over a year and I didn't know. Just found this out." Yes, I have been. So welcome. The other thing I want to say is, why haven't you and Fred put up more videos? Now, I realize Fred had surgery, so he can't do the woodworking that he's normally used to. But come on, do some videos. I looked at your channel. You're well over 1,000 subscribers. You know, get some ka-ching from it. Okay, that's enough. I just have to pick on her a little. I love you, Lisa. So, now it's time for confession. I had watched Cheryl Bolt's video last night, talking about weight loss, bariatric surgery, those kind of things. I had looked at bariatric surgery, to be honest, but I had gone to some of the classes about it with the only place in our area that does it. They do not offer the sleeve. They just do the bariatric, bypass, gastric bypass surgery. But I had asked a question when we were in the classroom, what was the death rate of each of the physicians that do it? Because you don't know which physician is going to be doing your bypass. And the gal looked at me and she goes, startled her. I said, well, what's their infection rate? Now, I understand that they take some of the most morbidly obese people for this procedure, but I've asked that anytime I've had any kind of surgery. I want to know the infection rate, because the infection rate tells me they don't follow good hygiene in the operating room sometimes, or they overlook things, or they don't prescribe antibiotics while you're in surgery and just after surgery to combat anything that may have come up. So, you know, I had made a decision based on they couldn't give me those answers, and they didn't follow up with those answers, that I didn't want to go that route. But and I've done a keto diet and I have lost weight on that. I was talked into joining Weight Watchers in December. About 2 weeks ago, I saw my gastric doctor. He was not pleased that I was on Weight Watchers. He said, with your gastroparesis history, with everything you have going on GI-wise, it is not a good diet for you. He said, first of all, it's a horrible diet for a diabetic. Now, I know that. I still watch the carbs. I see my family doctor. She chews me out about the Weight Watchers as well. I said, I realize that, but I got talked into signing up in December. I signed a contract for that, and then 6 months. So they're going to take the money out whether I go or not. Do I follow it? No. I have gone back to a full keto diet, one that's recommended by Dr. Eric Westman out of Duke University. It is the one thing that helped with my blood sugars. It is the one thing that has helped with keeping me from being starving to death while on a diet. And Cheryl's right. Diets do not work. You have to change your lifestyle. That's what it's all about, changing everything. So, and I had realized I had let sugar creep back in, so that there was a lot of inflammation in my body due to the sugar intake. Since I'm slowly getting that out of my diet. You cannot get it completely out of your diet if you're using anything that is not just a natural-based food, and many times even the beef, chicken, whatever you're getting, has been infused with certain types of salts and sugars. Everything you eat has something corn syrup in it, or a derivative of that, which is sugar. So, now Cheryl does talk about Splenda, has a bad rap. Yes and no. Some people, they don't respond well with Splenda. It stops them from losing weight. Others, doesn't bother them. It has never bothered me with being able to lose weight. Now, I don't use Splenda unless I'm out of my little containers of sucralose, which is pure sucralose in distilled water. There's nothing else that's in it. That's the two items that are in it. So, I do use that. I have used some of the other sweeteners, like erythritol, those kind of things. And so, I'm getting back into it slowly, because you've got to work that sugar out of your system. And one of the worst things when you go cold turkey through this is the massive headache and what they call the keto flu. That is just your body getting rid of those toxins and adapting. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I don't like giving up my fizzy drink. I like my fizzy drink every once in a while. So, yeah, I do have a Diet Dr. Pepper every once in a while. Generally, it's maybe once a day. And even then, it's very little, because I've been doing more tea drinking, more coffee, more water. And, yeah, I agree with you about that water intake. About the decaf is the only thing. Hogwash. Fluid is fluid. They do say that caffeine can dehydrate you, but if your body is adjusted to the caffeine intake you have without issues, it's not going to do anything. You're getting your intake. Just drink your coffee. And the other thing, Cheryl, I posted this under your video. There are dietitians and there are nutritionists. When my gastroparesis was at its worst, I had seen a dietitian. Gastroparesis was really bad. I couldn't keep foods down. I was nauseous all the time and starving to death at the same time. Blood sugars were sky high. Oral injections, the whole 9 yards with the diabetic meds were not helping, which part of that is part of the gastroparesis. That is just part of it. My gastroparesis was so bad at the time, the GI doctors were talking about doing a small bowel transplant. Luckily, for whatever reasons, with the domperidone and the Reglan, I didn't have to go that route. But here's the big but. I had asked my doctor I needed to see someone about nutritional needs while the gastroparesis was so bad, because my hair, I had white streaks in it. And this is before I went, the more grayish. And my GI doctor at the time, she told me, she said, I know it's wrong. I know the reason your hair is doing this is because of malnutrition. But it's absolutely beautiful. So we had a good joke, tease about that. But I had asked to see someone because I wanted to increase my nutrition to where it was optimized the best that it was while I had the gastroparesis. They sent me to a dietitian. This dietitian knew nothing about gastroparesis. But she knew the standard book recommendations for diabetics. I'm going to say this. A diabetic diet is too high in carbs, period. If you're diabetic and you're following the standard carbs that they recommend and your blood sugars are still up and down and all over the place, decrease your carb intake. You'll see a drastic change in what your blood sugars are doing. We as Americans have too high a carb intake to begin with. That's why we're so fluffy. And a lot of that came about because of the Food and Drug Administration listened to the farmers' lobbyists who wanted to get their products into our bellies. And why wouldn't they? That's how they make a living. So, she had recommended that I eat more vegetables, more cruciferous things. With someone who has gastroparesis, that can kill you. It was bad enough that every time I turned around, I was tossing cookies. That's part of gastroparesis. You're throwing up a lot because food just doesn't digest in your stomach whatsoever. That's what gastroparesis is. It's paralyzed stomach. Your stomach muscle no longer does the pulsating that it does to mash your food, turn it into a paste. Your stomach is basically doing this. It may occasionally go like this. That's it. But this dietitian recommended that, and I said, do you know anything about gastroparesis? She looked at me and she said, no. I said, then how can you recommend a diet for me? Shouldn't you know the disease? Shouldn't you understand what it does? I said, if I eat the things that you're telling me to eat, I'll be throwing up every time I eat. Or it'll stay stuck in my stomach and create basically, cats, hairballs. That's what it does, only it doesn't come up, doesn't go down, you get surgery. So, yeah. There's a big difference between someone who actually understands nutrition and dietitians. Dietitians follow what the book recommends, which is all based on a dietary system your farmers put into place with Congress. Period. And just look at it like this, guys. You remember a few years ago when Special K diet was all the rage? Who do you think was behind that? So yeah, diets don't work. It's lifestyle changes. I've gone back to that. The other thing I find is sometimes documenting everything you put in your mouth helps. Too many times we're unconscious of what we eat, whether it be one grape, one whatever. Write everything down. I am one of those people that anything above 1,000 calories, I don't lose weight. And I can be working out an hour and a half, 2 hours. Just doesn't work for me. I know that. The other thing with Weight Watchers in this point system is you can overeat. They tell you all vegetables, all fruits are 0 points. I have a friend who's a vegetarian. She's extremely overweight. So basically, she's eating 0 points all day long. How could she not lose weight on Weight Watchers? And then when you get into those meetings, one thing they will tell you is, oh, you can overeat 0 points. That's because all their point systems is based on a calorie intake. If you're getting 30 points, 28 points, your calorie intake is between 1,400 and 1,500. That's all that point system is. So, and I knew that going in, but I joined, got talked into it. I've gained weight. So I'm going back to what I know works for me. And it is a lifestyle change. Diets do not work. So, anyway, at Prayer Shawl, one of the ladies brought in these cute little items. And they were favors that were made by someone for the Christian Women's Association that's in town. And at their luncheons, they always give out little favors. And the one lady had made a bunch of these. And she had so many left over, she didn't want anything more to do with these. She was sick of seeing them. So they were brought over to Prayer Shawl. But I thought this was cute. To make a little teacup with a little bow on it, you know, to put your tea in and to present as a party favor. Thought I would show that. I'm still working on my calendar blanket. Got to work on the sky part and get the sun done. And yeah, later on today I do have a couple things I have to do. And I have a luncheon with a group of ladies that meet every month, with the exceptions of July through September. It is called Life. It is lunches for everyone except men. It's just a ladies group that gets together. We were friends a long time. And so we just, get together, catch up with each other, that kind of thing. So I'll be going to that because I haven't been in a while. Because I've had things to do on the days they've had them. So I'll catch you again tomorrow. Sorry for the long confession and the rant and the whatever. But yeah, see you again tomorrow. Bye.